Tutoring, thank you for sending me the Q4 response for the audit. Currently, I would estimate that you can get somewhere between 22 to 23 based on this particular response. You said you need 26. Hi, Ari, thank you for sending me the Q4 response for the audit. Overall, I think you did okay in this answer. I would estimate that you can get 22 to 23 maximum for this answer. The biggest bottleneck is in delivery and language use. Let's hear it together. Those are actually caused by the same thing. So we'll listen and count the mid-sentence pauses.
Reading passage, it's about a topic of desertification, which is about the environmental problems like the soil from fertile to dry. And the professor illustrates two consequences of it. First, it's about agriculture decline. It's about the soil will become unreliable and can't make any crops. For example, like China, when they face unavailable for a cultivation, then the people there will face food shortage and economic stress. In addition, the professor mentions human migration. If the human they're lost of farmlands, they can't sustain themselves and they are forced to move. So they will relocate it to our cities and they will make social conflicts and job competitions. So that's how the concept work in realities.
Okay. Upon closer examination, I think there are more grammatical issues like these. When they face unavailable for cultivation and a few words with S in the end, that doesn't really make sense. All right, so 22 to 23. Okay. I'm sure you've noticed some of the issues we mentioned here, but you just don't know how to eliminate it. So let's look at the notes together. We need to improve our notes to improve fluency and language use. Okay. Agricultural decline, here you're right, agriculture, so there's some error here. Can't grow reliably. Okay, reliably. And yield shrink, you probably didn't understand what this means. Or do you? I'm not sure. The general rule of thumb is that if a sentence is not clear to you, if the meaning is not clear to you, then we don't write it down. Because chances are you can write down the sentence after that and still mean the same thing. You don't have to write down the things that you don't understand and then you have to skip it or force yourself to read it and then cause grammatical mistakes. And for example, here it's missing verb and missing noun. So you don't know how to pair unavailable for cultivation with the right words. Okay. And plus, when you only write down food shortage and you're not writing down the verbs, you also have to think about what verb to use. This is actually okay. The word face is okay, but when you need to think about the verbs, then you need to spend more time and then your speaking rate drops. So if I don't change your notes, this is what I will do. I'll make really short sentences, but I will pay attention to the right parts of speech. Like I know this is going to be adverb instead of the adjective form. So this is what I'm going to say. The transcript is on the right-hand side. First, the professor mentions agricultural decline, and I don't know what this is, so I skipped it. To be more specific, crops cannot grow reliably after desertification. Stop. I won't try to add more words. And the professor uses China as an example. This is a template sentence. The land there was unavailable for cultivation after desertification, period. Okay? I know the unavailable for cultivation, I tried to come up with a short, easy subject for this particular adjective phrase. And for these two sentences, I made really, really short sentence, like, so there was food shortage. There was also economic stress. Okay. Sometimes our notes, no matter how I try, will be imperfect. So we have to find out ways to deal with them. And one way to deal with nouns on your notes is to use short sentences like, the professor mentions this, the professor mentions that, there is a lot of this, there is a lot of that. Okay, once again, when we try to make longer sentences, when we connect two sentences together, we tend to slow down. And our brain needs to process the right grammatical structure more. And that means we are also more prone to errors. Okay, that is just human nature. So my suggestion is for you to try to write more complete SVO notes if possible. Okay. And try not to pick what is important and what is not important. Just write down everything you hear, but make sure that what you write down is something that you do understand. Like, for example, if you don't really understand yield shrink, then don't write it down, okay? And then try to focus on making sentences out of the notes instead of thinking too much about the logic. Once you read everything that the professor says, you are immediately logical. You are naturally logical. You are logical even before you know it. Okay. So that's kind of the general strategy that I've been using to help students push to 20, 24, 25, or 26 in a short period of time. Okay, so for more testing, we can discuss on Monday when we have the discovery call, when we have the evaluation call.